Dear Grace, this is either a test or it's going to work. Hopefully it works. Hello. I'm not sure. It's right now on the live stream. All right. So, it's definitely not updating the live feed very. So we'll see. All right. Now I've got the formatting done. Once again, sorry about background noise, Grace, but there's nothing I can do. I thought the fresh fell asleep. All right. I think the live feed's pretty fast. Maybe not. About 3-second delay. That's fine. Make sure I can hear. All right. So what I did, Grace, was I took more from the May I movie idea. This time I did a copy and paste on Cat, changed it to Grace, and Dave to David, and Leon to the aliens. Although I don't be able to use the Leon parts, we'll see. So I'll just read through this, and if it works, it stays. If it doesn't, it goes, or I change it. Part 5, which is really part 4, continued. Grace locates her boss and quickly explains that she will return home. Grace, patient unknown message, locates her boss, explains quickly that she must leave to return home. Reminder for her Cantonese possible, but when panicked like she currently feels, she uncontrollably mixes both and hopes for the best. The boss tells her it's okay to leave. Running out of the cafe, unsure if he can. Grace notices Kim as she exits. She email. Yeah, she waves a little too enthusiastically, and before hearing his response. David stands and reviews his room. A double bed, a nightstand, a desk with an office chair, a wardrobe, a 3-drawer dresser, a fridge, and a sitting chair and ottoman. It would be better with his own washroom, he thinks. But he knows this is the best. He thinks, but he knows this is the best he'll get. A city full of homeless drug addicts seeking shelter. David needs clothes, but decides to wait till tomorrow. He knows the extra 100 pounds of body fat he's carrying will provide any calories he needs until then. It's not his first fast. The next morning, after another 8 hours of sleep, David still feels tired but is ready. After a quick trip on the metro to pick up a Tim Hortons coffee and donut, he's back, laptop open, time to write. David writes, November 28th, 2020, day 1. Movie idea number 66. The problem with this grace is to know how long I've been recording. I have to switch tabs. I think that's where it fucks up the stream, but let's see. Ooh, one viewer. It's me. I think this will be a while before anyone actually watches this live. We'll see. David writes, November 28, 2020, day 1. Movie idea number 66. 1. God gets pissed off with everyone complaining about how hard his world is to live in and decides to go back to mortal form as a human to prove them wrong. Number 2. Normally God would just send these complainers to his friend, but recently God sent nearly everyone. But recently God sent nearly everyone to his counterpart. God is lonely. He needs someone to tell him a happy story about their life. God decides to pause the afterlife. Anyone who dies remains in temporary stasis. They know they are dead from earth, but are still conscious. They remember their life, but cannot feel their body. I guess that's where I got that from before. 3.1, they have two options: review their past life for eternity or until God returns, or experience God's life on earth through his eyes, his thoughts, his feelings in real time. God created the rules and God plays by the rules. He wipes his own memory before being reborn to a random family anywhere on the planet. He follows the rules. His universe, his rules for all. 5. With one exception. God is playing with a stacked deck. His mind is millions of times faster than any human on their first trip into his world. It's not fair. 5.1. Feelings seem to be the biggest complaint by humans. God decides he'll tweak the universe slightly and increase his senses tenfold. By his calculations, he'll need to silence the critics at the end of this experiment. God's mind to a normal level. And one other failsafe. As the inventor of the universe, God's default creativity level, even without his past memory, far more advanced, and again would be an unfair advantage. To keep everything fair, God implements one additional rule of the use to allow that also only applies to him. Also only apply her during her stay. God's new identity cannot invent or discover anything for another human on Earth. Gravity after his first physics class, and the entire world economy would collapse when he develops a tiny electrical generator that ends the need for fossil fuels and it destroys the oil and gas industries overnight. 7. God believes, by frustrating himself with these limitations, he'll never succeed any more or less than any other human. 8. Blah blah blah. God's plan works. He is God. 9. Continue later. Note, have God be a dick. David laughs to himself. The movie idea sucks. He knows it, but he doesn't care. He'll take the Shrek approach. Better out than in. David's finally hungry and leaves to buy some groceries. There's a microwave in the kitchen, but David's thinking he'll put one in his room, eventually. Not today. So far, this is working. Rach is an unknown person typing on a laptop. She's enthralled. Oh, Grace reformats on a laptop, sets it up anonymously, and taps activating her super VPN. In case it fails, at least it won't be heard or kick in, hopefully. She types the link. She types in the link and presses enter. Grace watches an unknown person typing on a laptop. She's enthralled. She has no idea what he's typing or why, but she can't stop watching. What is this? Acceptance. I know I'm not going to do it. That's exactly how Grace thinks. Earlier, she spent 8 hours watching this same person, man, sleep, again enthralled. Under strict instructions to call the aliens the moment anything happens. Grace calls the aliens when the man returns with coffee and a donut. Until now, the only item of information the aliens and Grace could determine was the approximate latitude of the window. Sunlight still enters. Grace. A message flashes on the screen. Grace more than AI. This can't be real, she thinks. Who set her up? Who's beyond smart AI is? Like you can read her mind, the message on the screen changes. What can you tell us about this man with only this feed? Grace yells out loud, "Who the fuck are you?" The message changes. Who are you? Grace, now convinced that they can read her thoughts, slams her laptop shut, pulls out the battery. Here's the good part, Grace is. Once I get this going, it'll be easy to kill an hour. Might even go longer. Oh, Grace. Grace, now convinced they can read her thoughts. Her thoughts, slams the laptop shut, and pulls out the battery. She sips on the balcony and lights a smoke. She wishes she had. She wishes. She wishes she was. She wishes. What? She wishes she was in America again, where weed was legal. Not worth the sentence in Hong Kong. She knows the laptop is secure. It at least it contains no personal information. She even low-level wiped the hard drive after filling it with cat videos, even if they hacked the laptop. grabs a bottle of nail polish and she paints the camera lens and microphone. It might not stop all the sound, but it will stop the camera. It's good enough in her mind. Grace returns to the video with one thought in mind. What would AI do? Grace watches as it begins to record the feed. 24 hours later, the owner is the approximate latitude of the room. We're closing the window. Sunlight still enters, and by assuming the time zone was in North America, she narrowed the route's placement down to a few degrees. Unfortunately, located around the 49th parallel, which contains the majority of Canada's population and a large populace on the U.S. side. The location of the room could be in either country. The furniture gives no further hints on the location. A couple of pieces of are IKEA-like, common nearly everywhere in the industrialized world. The final clue, and the one that fascinates Grace, kept her watching the screen before the man even arrived, is a stained glass window. Its pattern is unique, and Grace believes the key to detecting where the room is located. It also projects a kaleidoscope of dancing and colored lights. Not actually still, but it also projects a kaleidoscope of dancing colored lights and patterns on the walls throughout the room. The dancing, she believes, is from a tree and leaves filtering, manipulating the light. Filtering or manipulating light. For months, nightly after a job at the cafe, Grace reviews the footage of the empty room. Make it a little more active, Grace. Video feed automatically recorded on her laptop via a link. Yeah, that part doesn't matter. For 6 months of her life, every night Grace watches. For 6 months. For 6 months. Every night, Grace watches the daily recording at 10 times speed. She studies the animated patterns of light on the wall and anything they might find interesting. man video can do that, sitting perfectly balanced on Grace's six-pack. Look at that, Grace. I give you a six-pack. And she brought back from America, along with an addiction for running. Grace's mom, always curious, notices the screen while she prepares a soy bed in the middle of the night. After determining it's not porn, she figures on some sort of fad the kids are doing. Watching each other do nothing seems about right, she thinks. Mrs. Yu doesn't understand Grace's generation, or Grace. I guess Grace, your name is Grace Yu now. Grace Yu. I wonder, Grace, if this is more interesting or less interesting than me reading the news. I think it's more interesting. At least I'm more willing to it. So. 2 hours later, Grace wakes up from a dream and gasps. She dreamt she was in the for months. Grace is scared, unsure why. It's only a dream, but to her it felt real. It felt like prison. Dun dun dun. Grace talks out loud to herself. Remembers her departure from the USA. Fuck, Grace. To do is tell one white lie. One mistruth may be living large in San Francisco. Grace. Instead, you're living with your mother and watching an empty monitor for months. Are you proud, Grace? I guess my search for place didn't work with this one. I really should pick a different name, but too bad. Are you proud, Grace? Pleased with your actions? Was it worth it? And what are you doing to do about this man in the video, Grace? You can't watch it all day. You have to work. You have to work. Why don't you write a program to monitor the video? Start with the motion sensor. You know that code is easy. Right, Grace? Are you listening, Grace? Are you listening, Grace? Are you listening to me? Are you listening to this live stream? Grace? No, it's the if you can write the code, just write it. You know, this is why they contacted you. You know, this is why they trust you. Just get off your ass and write the software, you dumb girl. Mary Grace. Here's some options to end this. Actually, let's get rid of that too. So probably be the one, but we'll see. Cat U opens her GitHub account, selects project, and begins code. Option 2. Cat wonders who the man in the room is. What is the purpose of everything? She knows are special. That is why she ruined her career to stop a false lawsuit against Mr. Smock. A suit instigated by her employer based on data they provided. The company insisted she testified to the validity of the data, or else. After months watching the trial and the Leon Smock on the stand, she couldn't lie, couldn't a man she didn't know, a man willing to spend his own fortune to save humanity. Instead, she exposed her employer. They charged with perjury, ruined her career, wasted her education, and was forced to restart her life in shame in her mother's small apartment in Hong Kong. Say, no, that's not true, Grace. I'll delete that one. Option 3, God. Grace is visited by an angel, and she's reminded Grace is visited by an angel and is reminded her duty is to serve God and Leon Smock. To help Leon Smock with anything he requests, non-sexual. The angel reminds Grace to be careful around Leon, because with her incredible beauty, youthfulness, and magnificent, magnificent, silky black hair, Leon is likely to ask her to birth a child, which is not until God's plan is complete. There's no God to do that one. Aliens. Aliens wonder what a regular customer. Grace wonders what a regular customer Kim is so weird, like an alien. Aliens exist. If they do, I hope they show themselves soon. This planet needs something new to talk about in the cafe. I can only overhear the same conversation so many times without killing myself. If he is an alien, wouldn't they have something more advanced to code with than a laptop? Would an alien code? Live in their ships? Wouldn't any ship from another planet be more advanced to control than a whole cafe in Hong Kong? Kim is cute. Can aliens have sex with humans? Why does Kim only talk to me? Am I an alien and don't know? Are we all aliens? It's actually okay to whatever. Just Grace wonders. Option 5, dimensions. Grace extends its maximum extension, places a towel under her neck, and begins to meditate. An hour later, she reaches the DMT dimension, and Grace unknowingly speaks to Leon's knock at light speed. Neither fully understanding the conversation in the moment, but each believe everything will eventually make sense. The aliens exits, or Leon exits 15 minutes later. His chemically induced trip is over. Grace remains for hours, talking to the others, and wakes up fresh, alive, the first time in years. Boy to its maximum extension, places a towel under her neck, and falls asleep. 10 hours later, she wakes up, alive, the first time in years. Option 6, dead people. Grace fingers the burn mark on the arm of her lazy boy. She remembers when she tried smoking. It helped her sleep. The night she burnt her chair. Grace doesn't tell her mother why she brought the chair back to Hong Kong, because Grace is panpsychic and communicates to the chair when she sleeps. The chair has a consciousness of Grace, one she named Squidgy. Her mother would not understand. I don't think we ever knew the option on this one, Grace, but we'll see. Option XXX. Grace closes GitHub after 5 minutes of coding, opens Pornhub, and fingers herself for hours till finally falling asleep in a puddle of anxious sweat, dry glue, and a variety of bodily fluids. Sorry to put you in that position, Grace. Even more sorry if your parents are listening to this, but oh well, what can I do? Alright, this is up to what? 34,433 words? No. Characters. 6,329 words. 600 sentences. Reading time, 29 minutes. Speaking time, 43 minutes. 1 month after Joe Ricky podcast. So I'm going to do this. My own work. So it's not really stealing. It's more re-envisioning. Right. Oh yes, thank you. So this is another movie idea. All can just become a scene. called The Autistics, how Ricky Gervais, Dave, and a bunch of horny autistics can cure the whole thing. Sorry there, Grace. Just thinking. It's loud. A live podcast with absolutely nobody watching. Which is perfect. So you don't have to deal with any chats. People asking fucking questions. Complaining. It's too noisy. Too much background noise. Fuck you. It's my story. I read it my way. Alright. What I'm going to do, Grace, is do another search replace. We have to replace Dave with something else. How about this will work, Grace? Doesn't? Not my problem. Came in block quotes. Block quotes. Which we don't need it to be block quoted, and we don't need. Shit, the numbering is fucked crazy. That's right, we'll do some formatting. I'm not afraid of a little hard work now. Grace, are you? All right. A little bit more formatting, Grace. And then we can get back down to business. So originally this was called The Autistics, which is a great fucking name. Nobody cares, but whatever. Ricky buys an abandoned resort island. Changes his name to Gary and disappears from public. Gary's new island contains an empty 1,000-room hotel. He renovates the hotel, installing a network of workstations and savor. Does that sound better, Grace? Positions. Some old man now you can hear the fridge. Perfect. Let's do a live. Actually, might not be. Motherfucker.